Hi everybody, I was just adjusting my camera there a little bit and it looked a little funny. And I'm excited to see you all here for I have to turn off the sound on my computer. But I am going to be playtesting the Uebel Advantage clarinets, and it is a total unboxing. I mean, I haven't even opened my giant box yet. I wanted to share the joy with all of you. So I'm going to flip it over and I am going to get out my handy Swiss Army knife and just open this up. It has been sitting here waiting for this big moment, and I believe I have Claire here from Uebel, and if she is, please go ahead and introduce yourself. And so she'll help me answer questions in the chat. And, whoops, I can do it. Let's see what we've got here. We have some brown paper packaging. I'm just gonna throw it like this. It'll be thrilling. All right, here we go. Right on the very top is this beautiful box. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this down carefully because I have my clarinet nearby. And I don't want to chip any reeds or anything, knock anything over. Okay, so this is the Uebel Advantage. I am going to try it out today. And if you've been to any of my live streams before where I try out clarinets, I have a specific method of how I like to do it. So I'm going to be playing an F major scale up and down on my clarinet, and then I'm going to try it out on the Advantage clarinet. And we're going to talk it through together on how to pick a clarinet. What works best for you is going to be a little different than me. Please go ahead and put comments in of what you've done before and how you like to try out instruments. But one of the things that really works when I do it is consistency. So you want to do the same thing on all the clarinets that you try. I like to try maybe 4 or 5 at a time, depending on what I'm looking for. But you definitely want to have the same thing, because if you're doing different pieces that you're trying, you don't really have a fair way to compare what you're doing. All right, so when I'm trying an instrument like this, I want to be very careful with how I unpack it, because I'm going to pack up at least one of the clarinets and send them back. So I don't want to tear into this packaging. I want to just very carefully unwrap it. And then we're going to take it out. This is a beautiful case in here. So it looks like a leather case. It's really nice. We have it embossed right here, a nice handle. And I'm going to go ahead and open it for you guys this way so you get to see it first before I do. And it's packaged up really, really nicely in here. Looks like we have some materials. I will open that too. And this is probably a warranty. And then another little piece of paper here. And then we have our clarinet. So I'm going to carefully put this down on my desk. And each piece is individually wrapped. So what's really nice about that is that it's just the care that they took. They want to take good care of this instrument. And then we have this nice little bag right here. So I'm going to open that separately and see what's in there. It looks like it might be a mouthpiece cap. All right, so let's see what we've got. I'm going to do this one first just because I'm super excited about this nice little velvet pouch. I want to see what's in here. And it is, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Look at this. I've got, I do have a mouthpiece cap and a ligature. And what's really nice, and I really appreciate about this, is there's not a stock mouthpiece. So I have a mouthpiece cap and a ligature. This would not be the clarinet where you're going to open the case and it's going to be ready to go with a mouthpiece. Just know that you'll need to get a mouthpiece. And the reason why I like that is that a lot of times stock mouthpieces aren't fantastic that come with these instruments. Not, you know, the Uebel instruments in general, but a lot of instruments in the past, they don't have great mouthpieces that come with them. Also, even though instrument manufacturers have upped their games and they've included good mouthpieces in the clarinet cases, everybody is different. So it's one of the things I say all the time in my videos. Everyone is different. How we play instruments are different. Our heads are shaped differently. Our preferences are different. What kind of music we play, what kind of sound we want to have. So a mouthpiece is very, very personal. So having one mouthpiece in the case might not be the best mouthpiece for you. And I just say, don't even bother putting a mouthpiece in the case, and then have that as a separate process. All right, look at that beautiful silver right there. Okay, so we have an alternate E flat key here, which is really, really nice. You don't have to get the alternate E flat key, so if you get one of these clarinets, you can choose whether or not you want one. I usually don't have one because I usually can't reach them. So one of the things that I'm going to check today is to see how comfortable that E flat key is for me, because I haven't found one that I'm happy with. And then what I also like is this beautiful silver plating. Silver plating is actually really good for you. Nickel can have some toxic qualities, so I don't even think you can get nickel plated keys in Europe. So this is silver plated and it's extra thick by German standards, and you can see it. It's really, really pretty. Look at that. That's really nice. There's an adjustable thumb rest. And this grenadilla wood of this clarinet is dried naturally, so it's not kiln dried. And the reason why that's an advantage is it's less likely to crack. So I'm going to go ahead and put the bell on. Oh, I like the bell shape. Isn't that pretty? It's a little thicker here than other clarinets that I see, so I like that a lot. Now I'm going to try putting it together, but if I need cork grease, I'm going to stop what I'm doing right away and put cork grease on, which is exactly what I'm going to do. You don't want to be forcing anything with the corks, especially on a new clarinet, and especially when you're trying a clarinet. Think about trying a clarinet as if you're a guest, right? You're just trying it out. You want to see how everything is going. I'm going to just go through this little bag, and there is cork grease in here, but I'm going to go ahead and use my cork grease. I'm going to go ahead and drop that cork grease on the ground and lose it. It is now behind me, but it's a little tiny one, which is really, you know, all we need. So here's a nice little cork grease that we have. I'm just going to put things back in the bag as we find them. And we have the warranty card right in here. I'm going to put that back. Here is a mouthpiece. You guys, you did put a mouthpiece in here. And it is a B45 mouthpiece. And it is a Van Doren. So they are putting a nice mouthpiece in. Thank you very much. That's great. So you can try this out. You can have a mouthpiece all ready to go. So I take back what I said. You are ready to go when you open up this case because you have a mouthpiece. And then you can try out different mouthpieces to find the one that works the best for you. Thank you, Uebel, for putting in a good mouthpiece. So I'm happy about that. You're going to get a nice little pencil. And my suggestion is to not keep your pencil in your clarinet case. Sometimes it can make the silver tarnish. So just keep it in an outside pocket of your case. And we have one of these little, oh, there's, I love you guys. Look at this. There's a little cushion for your thumb rest in there. And it's one that fits an adjustable thumb rest because adjustable thumb rests don't have, they're a little bit shaped differently. So you need a different kind of thumb rest cushion. There are mouthpiece patches in here. I feel like I just went trick-or-treating and these are all my trick-or-treat. I got all my little treats in here. They even threw in a reed. This is a Van Doren 2.5, so it's a nice reed to start with in the beginning, and then you can adjust your reeds as necessary. There's a swab, and then there's also a polishing cloth. So this is very, very thorough in here. So polishing cloths are great also. I'm assuming this is a polishing cloth. It looks like one. All right, so that's in the little plastic bag. But really, we want to hear how this clarinet sounds. Okay, so I'm going to put this carefully over here. I'm going to grab some of my own cork grease so that I don't have to use the cork grease on a clarinet that I'm going to be returning. Like I said, if you're trying out clarinets, you're a guest trying out that clarinet, so you want to treat them as carefully as you can. If you're going to try out that mouthpiece, go ahead and put that mouthpiece patch on it. Then you won't be damaging it with your teeth. Okay, so I keep my cork grease in my little pencil case over here. And then, well, at least I used to. I used to keep my cork grease over there. Okay, there we go. I can do it. I've got it. Cork grease here. And so the reason why I'm not using their cork grease is if I decide that to send this clarinet back, if I don't totally fall in love with it, I am going to want everything to be as close to new as possible. And if I've dipped in there and used their cork grease, that's not brand new anymore. So, all right. The corks are very dry when we get new clarinets. This is totally normal. And you're going to want to season them, as I say, with the cork grease. So you'll find that you'll be putting on a lot more cork grease than you normally do once you break in your clarinet. It's very important to use the cork grease so that you aren't damaging the cork. A lot of times corks can rip, but the other reason why is if you're forcing the clarinet together, sometimes you can actually damage the key work, and you don't want to be doing that. I am lining up the Uebel logo with the center of the clarinet here, and what's really pretty is this wood here is absolutely beautiful. It's the natural grenadillo color, so it's it has a little bit of a reddish tint to it, which is really, really nice. They should put a mask in the case from Georgia. Oh my gosh. Have you seen the clarinets that people have been playing with the bags around them and the weird masks on their faces? And I was actually asked to play a gig, and they wanted me to buy all that equipment and a face shield, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to it. It was so depressing. And then I thought, what's it even going to sound like with all that stuff? So I turned it down, and I'm willing to wait. But it's just one of these things right now that we have to make these adjustments. And since we play wind instruments, it's hard for us. So I want to show you the top joint. Once again, that beautiful key work, really, really pretty silver in there, which I love. I like the A flat key. It looks a little bit wider than the A flat key on my clarinet, which will be a little bit easier just to sort of tap it gently. That's how you want to be playing your A flat key from the side. All right, this is one of my favorite things to do when I play, when I'm just that sound. I did watch one of those ASMR videos, and they were doing this. I should get a good mic for it. Okay, so I put a little bit of cork grease on the top. I am going to try it with my mouthpiece, even though there's a mouthpiece in here, which I'm very appreciative of. Thank you very much. So that you can play it right out of the box. I'm going to play it with mine. There are 2 barrels, and one of them looks like it is 64 millimeters, which is a little bit shorter than what I normally play. I normally am on a 65. But the reason why the 64 is a really nice barrel to have included in the case is that sometimes in the beginning, my students will play a little bit lower in pitch, and this can help bring it up. Now, this is a professional clarinet, so that's not why they put a 64 millimeter in there. There's probably a 64 millimeter in there because of Europe. In Europe, they play a little bit sharper than we do in the United States. So if anybody's here from Europe, hello. I'm going to go ahead and put the 64 millimeter back in the bag because I want to stay as close to my clarinet as possible. What I'm listening for when I try clarinet is sound. I want beautiful sound. I don't want to have to work extra hard for a beautiful sound. I'm absolutely listening for intonation. That's why I want these barrels to match. So I normally play a 64. I'm going to play a I normally play a 65. So I'm going to play a 65 today. I'm lining up the barrel right now. All right, all put together. Very beautiful. Look how shiny it is. It's so pretty. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that F major scale with my clarinet. So this is a Buffet Prestige. Complete with a cat hair in my mouth, which is super disgusting. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the Uebel Advantage. I'm very excited. I've played Uebels before, and I've really, really liked them. So now I get one all to myself to play and not have to play it at Clarinet Fest with, 1,000 clarinet players playing all around me. These are leather pads in here, which is really, really nice. All right, here we go. So for me, right off the bat, it's they're surprisingly similar, and they feel very close, but I like the core in this one. There's a really nice core to the sound. You can hear it in the low range. So I'm just going to switch right now, but they feel very, very close, which I am ruefully laughing right now because I will tell you why in a second. All right, right, so this one actually sounds stuffy on my low F, so it doesn't quite have the same ring, and the consistency of the sound isn't the same either. So there's a little bit, I have to make a little bit of adjustments to get the sound to match, and that's natural. That's something that I would do probably at this point unconsciously. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. And I'm going to try that F again. Here we go. So it takes so long when you switch the mouthpieces. All right. So the more I play going back and forth, this is more consistent, and there's more ring in the sound, and the price point is a lot different than a Buffet Prestige. So I actually like the sound that I'm getting. And I can tell that it's going to project really nicely. It's also really easy to play going over to the altissimo. Which I have to make an adjustment when I'm playing on the Prestige. So I do change the voicing a little bit, and I change my embouchure a little bit to get that to work. I did not have to make that adjustment here. All right, so Uebel can let you know how much this clarinet costs, because I think it's around $2,500. And the reason why I am shaking my head is that Prestige is about, or at least when I got it, $6,300. So for almost a $4,000 difference, that's a big, big difference. So that is the that's the Prestige, and I have to make that adjustment going over the break. And there's stuffiness, like if I'm going in down to the Chalumeau range, there's stuffiness in there. And yes, I saw a question come up that Ricardo Morales plays with Uebel, and he does. So you hear that? It's kind of stuffy sounding. Now the trick is every time I'm taking off my my mouthpiece, I have to readjust my reed because of my ligature. I need to just put a little more cork grease on my mouthpiece. But there's a stuffiness. And what is interesting to me is when I do these play tests, I'm able to go back and watch those videos again, and you can really hear it when you compare the two. So do you hear that? There's just more ring in that sound in the low register. It doesn't have that stuffiness, and it just projects better. And the consistency of the sound isn't just in the Chalumeau range, it's going up into the clarion. Very easy to get into the altissimo range. Really, really, really nice. This is really nice. And one of the other things I do, because I'm a lazy reed person, is this is just one of the reeds that I've been playing on this week. I didn't even, get a nice reed out. And when you have a clarinet that you're used to playing for a couple of years, you don't notice all the little micro adjustments that you do. And in here, I don't have to make those adjustments that I was making before on my other one. So one more time. Just to compare one last time, but wow, what a big difference. I really like the consistency. I just like how it sounds so clear all the way through. There's that pretty ring all the way through, and certain notes on this clarinet, my Prestige, sound spread. Like I have to carefully play those notes. I have to make adjustments for them, and I'm not having to do that. Whoa, with the Advantage. I dropped my reed on the ground. and I'm still gonna play it. Okay, and somebody asked about the Rovner ligature. Yes, I do love my Rovner ligature too, but when I was making quick changes on my clarinet, that one would come off a lot too. All right. So you can hear it in moments like that. I have to crescendo going down from the altissimo range into the clarion range of my instrument. Here, I don't have to do that with the Advantage. And my sound gets spread. Yeah. Somebody said don't break the reed. Okay, so everybody, thank you for watching. I'm going to be trying this clarinet out again on Facebook and on Instagram. So if you want to come to those, just follow me on those social media platforms so you know when I'll be doing it. One of the things I love about trying a clarinet for a couple of days on live streams is that I notice different things each time that I missed before, which is kind of fun. The Uebel, I mean, it sounds great, and it's very consistent throughout. The intonation sounds really, really good. I'm going to show you one of the tricks I do for testing intonation. Now, I can't use my tuner right now because I'm using it for my, I'm using my phone for the live stream, but I absolutely will go through with a tuner, see where everything is, and if I don't have a tuner, I just usually play the octaves. What, it's beautiful. Do you hear that clarity in there? Very liquidy. And it makes me want to play it. That's how you know it's a good clarinet. That's a Richie Hawley trick, that if you want to play it and you want to keep noodling around, that's how you know you've got a good clarinet in there. So I am excited that I get to try this out for the week. And the coupon code, so if you want to get 5% off from the online store of Uebel, they sent us a coupon code. So I'm gonna, if I end up buying this, I'll use the coupon code. But it's Katina5, which I thought was hilarious. So CATINA number 5, all capital, and that's the coupon code to get 5% off, which is great. But like I said before, the price of this is amazing, especially when you think about some of the student models some of these other companies have out are about the same price as this, which is a professional model clarinet. And it, once again, it's easy to play. I was just in a lesson with somebody before I got here, and they were having all sorts of trouble, and I'm not having that here. So I'm checking that E flat key here. So normally they are in an uncomfortable reach for me, but I can actually get to it comfortably, which is kind of a surprise. It would take me a little bit to get used to because I'm so used to sliding, but usually they're a little too far down for me and it's an uncomfortable stretch, but this one is not bad. The other thing that I've noticed with this instrument is it's very light feeling. And I don't know exactly what goes into that, but and maybe it's just all psychological, but it feels nice in the hands, it's light, and I can reach that E flat key in there, so that would be something that I would hold on to. But Uebel, thank you so much for letting me try this out. I'm going to peek at some of the questions in there just to see if there's any that I can answer. But this is lovely, and really, really smooth, easy to play, sounds beautiful, intonation's good, adjustable thumb rest, 5-year warranty on the wood, 2-year warranty on the keywork, which is better than other warranties I've seen. Usually it's just a 1-year warranty in there, 2 barrels, a 64 and a 65. I've usually seen 66 and a 65, so 64 is better, 64, 65. It comes with a mouthpiece and a good one, and a reed in there. It has the thumb rest cushion, it has a swab and a polishing cloth. I'm telling you, it's like Christmas. I am so excited. All right, so anyway, thank you everybody for coming, and I will be playing the RZ Conservatory Clarinet on Saturday morning at 11 if you want to come to that. If you want to do the Facebook live stream, that's tomorrow at 5, and then there's an Instagram one on Friday if you want to come to that as well. Comments, questions, as you know, post them below, and happy clarinetting. Bye. Oh, I always mess up turning it off.